Right. So today we're cracking open this book called Chaos and Sorcery.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this one.
Have you?
Yeah.
It's pretty intense stuff, and I'm not sure if it's like your typical spell book, like
right.
with potions and all that kind of Harry Potter kind of stuff.
No, it's definitely not that.
Nice.
It's a lot
more real.
Yeah, raw.
Real world.
Yeah.
This is like almost like a
historical.
Yeah, historical and practical.
Yeah.
Sorcery techniques.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Very practical.
Like throughout history and even today. So we're going to be diving deep into divination, curses, and even this crazy concept of controlling someone's astral body.
Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's
mind-bending.
It's pretty far out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting how the book kind of blends those ancient practices with like a more modern approach to magic. It's really about tapping into that raw power, that kind of primal force that exists all around us, and then using like simple tools, not fancy stuff, but very basic tools to kind of channel that energy.
So okay, let's unpack this a little bit.
Sure.
The book starts by talking about tools of the trade.
Right.
But we're not talking about wands and pointy hats here.
No.
We're talking bone pointers.
Yeah.
Snake charms.
Right.
Like things that
make you go,
Yeah, kind of make you go, wait, what is this?
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of the point, right?
Right.
These tools are meant to be visceral. They're almost shocking because they bridge the gap between like the mundane everyday world and this magical realm.
Right.
And so think about like a shaman's rattle, right? It's not just a noisemaker.
Yeah.
It's a tool to shift consciousness, to connect with the spirit world.
Okay, so it's about taking ordinary objects, right,
Yep.
and imbuing them with meaning and power.
Precisely, yeah.
Okay.
And the book dives into some really fascinating examples.
Okay.
Like runes.
Okay.
Now, most people, I think, when they think of runes, they think of like
Fortune telling.
yeah, like Viking fortune cookies.
Yeah.
But in chaos sorcery, there's so much more than that.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So each rune is personalized.
Okay.
Right. It's literally charged with the sorcerer's own life force.
Oh.
And the book even describes a ritual where you carve the runes into a piece of wood that's been buried and infused with your blood or other personal fluids.
Whoa.
So it's very much
very personal, very personal touch. It makes you wonder about the psychological impact of a ritual like that.
Absolutely.
Right? Like are you just imbuing this rune with power?
Right.
Or are you also strengthening your own belief in the process?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it really gets to the heart of chaos magic.
Okay.
It's not just about following a recipe, right?
Right.
It's about the intention, the belief, the sheer will that you pour into the act.
Okay.
And speaking of personal touches, the book also talks about using colored stones for divination, which sounds deceptively simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does sound simple, but
it is simple, but that's the beauty of it. You find the stones, you decide what each color represents for you. There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
It's about trusting your intuition, creating your own magical language.
So instead of like buying a pre-packaged set of crystals with like pre-assigned meanings,
exactly.
You're forging your own connection to those stones.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that leads us to another really powerful tool, the Chaos Sphere.
Okay.
The 8-pointed star symbol.
Yeah. I've always wondered about that symbol.
Yeah.
It's very eye-catching, very...
It is
like, cool looking.
It's not just cool looking, though. It's incredibly ancient and powerful.
Okay.
And the book traces it back to like Mesopotamian pictograms.
Wow.
Where it represented concepts like God, heaven, the stars.
Oh, so it's like a symbol of cosmic power when you tap into those universal forces.
Exactly.
Okay.
And in modern chaos magic, it's often used as a focal point for visualization.
Okay.
A way to concentrate and direct your will.
Wow.
The book even says you can visualize it onto anything.
Really?
To imbue it with power.
Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, I could visualize a chaos sphere on my coffee cup to, like, prevent spills.
Maybe not spills, but the point is that the power lies in your intent, right? In how you choose to manipulate the energy that's flowing through the chaos sphere.
Okay.
It's a tool of really infinite possibility.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
Yeah.
Now, I know we have to talk about pointers, but this book takes them way beyond, like, the typical wand imagery, right?
Right, yeah. The book actually uses the term pointer to emphasize the raw nature of sorcery.
Okay.
Right. It could be anything from a human bone to a snake phallus.
A what?
To your own finger.
Okay.
You know, it's about
So it could be anything?
yeah, it's about directing your will like a laser beam.
I've got to admit, the image of a snake phallus as like a magical pointer is definitely not what I expected.
Right. It's pretty out there.
But it does make you think about the cultural variations.
The magical tools, right? Like how different cultures use different objects to kind of channel that power.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that, magic is expressed in countless ways across the world. Each culture tapping into the same underlying forces, but through their own, unique lens.
Right. Yeah.
Hi, Pratis and Sorries. Here I came to you to explain why and what it's all about. It's not only about Chaos magic, but in stages I will send a lot of videos about one or other subject until you finish it. So someone who care about those books and search for information about it can learn or can have some information about it. So please follow up the channel here in the
Chaos Magic Time.
So we've assembled our sorcery toolkit now.
We have.
But how do we actually use these things?
That's a good question.
That's where this next section of the book comes in.
Right.
It's unlocking your inner sorcerer, techniques that work. So this is where we move beyond theory and into practice, right?
Exactly.
So what kind of techniques are we talking about?
Well, this might surprise you, but it starts with meditation.
Meditation. Okay. I know what you're thinking.
Right.
Meditation, isn't that more about like relaxation and mindfulness? Not quite sorcery.
Yeah, not exactly what I picture when I think of like a powerful sorcerer.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Meditation is about focusing your mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Achieving a state of heightened awareness.
Absolutely.
And that's essential for any kind of
magical practice.
Yeah, magical practice. You need that focus.
So it's like clearing the static so you can tune into those magical frequencies.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
And the book actually provides 4 guided meditations.
Okay.
Each focused on connecting with one of the 4 elements.
Okay, so
earth, air, fire, water.
Earth, air, fire, water. I mean, that's
classic.
Pretty classic, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's dive into those meditations a little bit.
Okay.
I'm particularly curious about the earth meditation.
Oh, yeah.
What's that like?
Well, the book describes lying down,
focusing on your breath.
Okay.
And really feeling the weight of your body against the earth.
Okay.
It's about grounding yourself, connecting to that primal energy.
Huh.
Yeah.
That actually sounds pretty relaxing. Maybe I should try that before my next big meeting.
Yeah, it's a great way to center yourself and tap into that sense of stability.
Yeah. Okay. And what's interesting is that this technique, it echoes practices found in yoga.
Yeah.
Various shamanic traditions.
Right.
It's showing how these seemingly different systems often share these common roots.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of overlap there.
Yeah. It's all starting to connect, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. What about the other meditations?
Sure.
What's the air meditation like?
So the air meditation involves using like a specific aroma associated with air, like clover or sandalwood, something like that. And then you stand, arms outstretched, and visualize yourself becoming light and airy, like a feather on the wind.
So it's about embracing a sense of freedom and expansiveness.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Connecting with that element of air and embodying its qualities.
Yeah, I can see how that would be powerful. Okay, what about water?
So the water meditation involves visualizing yourself submerged in a pool of infinite depths.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a journey into the depths of your own subconscious.
Oh, that sounds almost hypnotic.
It is.
Like a way to access hidden parts of yourself.
Yeah, and the book says, you might receive visions or insights during this meditation.
Yeah.
Whispered secrets from the depths of your mind.
I'm adding this one to my to-do list.
Yeah.
Now, we can't forget fire, right?
Right.
That's
got to be the most intense one.
Yeah, that's got to be the most intense of the meditations. What's that one like?
So it involves staring into a candle flame and visualizing that flame igniting within you.
Okay.
It's about harnessing the transformative power of fire.
Wow.
Yeah, it's about pushing your boundaries, confronting those primal forces within yourself.
That sounds both exhilarating and a bit scary.
It is.
Okay.
And what's really interesting is that fire meditation often plays a role in like initiation rituals.
Really?
Across cultures. Yeah. It's a symbolic way to kind of burn away the old self and emerge transformed.
Okay. My mind is officially blown.
Yeah.
So we've covered meditation, but the book also mentions visualization as a key technique.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is where the Chaos Sphere comes back in.
It does.
Right.
Yeah. Visualization is really central to almost all sorcery practices.
Okay.
It's about using the power of your imagination to shape reality.
Yeah.
And in Chaos sorcery, the Chaos Sphere plays a crucial role.
So it's not just a cool symbol.
No.
It's an actual tool for focusing your magical intent.
Precisely, yeah. The book describes a practice called Chaos Sphere gazing.
Chaos Sphere gazing.
Yeah, where you stare at the Chaos Sphere, then you close your eyes and you visualize it in perfect detail.
Okay.
You're training your mind to hold that image with absolute clarity.
So you're essentially working out your imagination muscles.
Yeah, you got to get those imagination muscles in shape.
Yeah. Getting ready for some heavy lifting.
Exactly. Yeah. And the book says, once you've mastered this technique, you can visualize the Chaos Sphere onto anything.
Really?
Imbuing it with your magical intent.
Okay. Is there anything you can't do with this Chaos Sphere?
Well, it's a tool of immense power. Limited only by your imagination, and we'll think of it as a lens through which you focus your energy, shaping it to your desire.
All right, now meditation and visualization, those are powerful. But what about the more physical side of sorcery?
Right.
The book mentions gesture and dance. Right.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not just about what you think. It's about your whole body being involved in the magical act. Okay. It's about channeling your will through movement.
So it's not about standing still like a statue.
No.
It's about really embodying the magic that you're creating.
Exactly, yeah. And the book describes specific gestures for different purposes, like protection, summoning, or even amplifying emotions like anger. It even talks about using dance to enter trance states to connect with, those primal rhythms of the universe.
Okay, so it's like a physical manifestation of your intent.
Yeah.
Almost like
I like that.
Martial art of sorcery.
Yeah, like a magical martial art. Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to see how these techniques echo like the use of mudras.
Mudras?
Yeah.
What are those?
So mudras are they're hand gestures used in Eastern practices to channel specific energies.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's definitely a connection there.
It's another reminder of how seemingly different traditions often share
common understanding
of how the body and mind work together to create magic.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now get ready for this next one.
Okay.
Because it's mind-bending.
Yeah.
Possession.
Yeah.
The book actually talks about inviting entities or aspects of your own subconscious to take control.
Yeah.
I mean, is that even possible?
It is, but it's definitely not for beginners.
Okay.
Yeah, this is advanced level stuff.
Okay.
The book explains how sorcerers use trance states, often induced through dance, drumming, chanting,
Right.
to open themselves up to these outside forces.
That sounds both fascinating and
Yeah.
incredibly dangerous.
It can be. It can be.
I imagine there's a lot of preparation
Yeah.
and caution involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's crucial to understand the entity that you're trying to connect with,
Right.
its nature, its potential dangers. You're not just randomly dialing up any old spirit. You're engaging with powerful forces that demand respect and understanding.
So it's not just about power.
No.
It's about knowledge and responsibility.
Exactly.
Okay.
Possession is, a complex and potentially dangerous practice. And it's just one example of how chaos sorcery really pushes the boundaries of what we typically think of as magic.
Okay, so we've covered meditation, visualization, gesture, and even possession. But now we're entering a realm that has a much darker reputation.
All right.
Doll magic.
Doll magic.
Yeah.
It's a little nervous about this one.
Yeah, it has a long
Yeah.
and often misunderstood history. It's often associated with curses and malevolent spells.
Right.
But like any form of magic, it can be used for good or evil.
Right. But let's be real.
Yeah.
The darker applications of doll magic are what kind of pique everyone's curiosity.
That is floating, right?
Yeah, that's the juicy stuff.
Yeah. So what kind of dark sorcery can you actually do with dolls?
Well, before we get into specifics, it's crucial to remember that we're not endorsing these practices.
Right.
We're exploring them from a historical and anthropological perspective to understand the full spectrum of human potential.
Right.
Both the light and the shadow.
Of course.
Yeah.
But for the sake of this deep dive, let's explore that shadow side a bit further.
Oh, wait. Let's do it.
The book mentions creating a magical twin of the victim.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and this is where things get really interesting. The book describes using personal items from the victim,
Like
hair, nail clippings, pieces of clothing, to create a doll that is magically linked.
So it's like a voodoo doll, but even more personally.
Exactly, yeah. Much more personal.
Well,
And the book details a variety of techniques for attacking the doll, each one more disturbing than the last.
Yeah.
All based on the principle of sympathetic magic.
Sympathetic magic.
Yeah.
What's that?
So sympathetic magic is this idea that you can influence someone by acting upon an object that represents them.
Okay.
Right.
So
like sticking pins in the doll
exactly. Yeah.
to inflict pain.
Yeah. But it goes far beyond pins.
Oh, no.
The book describes techniques involving fire cords, even visualizing a snake entering the doll to cause harm.
Okay, that's enough for me.
Yeah, it's
That's really intense.
yeah, it's amazing how these techniques
Yeah.
tap into our deepest fears and anxieties.
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes you wonder about the psychological impact on both the sorcerer and the victim.
Yeah. Yeah. It raises some important questions about the ethics of magic,
Right.
The responsibility that comes with wielding such power.
Right, because it's a real thing.
It's not a toy.
Yeah.
It's a force to be respected and used with caution.
Well said. Well said. So the book doesn't just focus on the dark side of doll magic, right?
Right. No.
It also talks about using dolls for beneficial purposes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a bit more reassuring.
Right.
So let's dive into those techniques. How can you use a doll for healing?
So the book describes creating a doll to represent the patient,
Okay.
and then using visualization and energy work to draw the illness out of the person
Okay.
and into the doll.
So you're transferring the sickness.
It's like a magical transfer, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like a combination of folk medicine
Yeah.
and magic, using the doll as a conduit for healing energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the book emphasizes that even in beneficial doll magic, the personal touch is crucial.
Okay.
You know, you're not just working with an abstract concept of illness.
Right.
You're working with a representation of that individual, their energy, their specific needs.
Okay.
Yeah.
The book also talks about using dolls for protection.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like a magical bodyguard almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this could be protection for yourself, your home, your possessions.
Yeah.
Right.
Protection for anything, really.
The book describes creating a doll
Right.
that is imbued with
Protective energy.
protective energy.
Yeah.
And then placing it in a specific location to ward off negative influences.
Yeah, like setting up a magical perimeter around yourself or your property.
Okay. And the book mentions using specific symbols and materials
Yes.
to enhance the doll's
Protective power.
protective power, drawing on traditional folklore and magical practices.
Exactly.
So we've explored this spectrum of doll magic,
We have.
right?
Yeah.
From the darkest curses to the most benevolent blessings.
Blessings, yeah.
But there's one more area
Okay.
of sorcery that we need to cover.
Right.
Word weaving.
All right.
Expert speaker.
Wiggle weaving, yeah.
Yeah, it's this idea that words have this power beyond their literal meaning.
Absolutely.
That they can act as these conduits for magical energy.
Exactly. It's a belief that's found across cultures throughout history. I mean, from ancient incantations to modern affirmations.
Right.
Humans have always understood the power of language to influence the world around us.
Okay, so what are some specific techniques for word weaving? The book mentions curses and spells,
Right.
but what's the difference?
So traditionally, curses are seen as invoking negative forces to harm someone, while spells are about directing positive energy towards a desired outcome.
Okay, so curses are bad and spells are
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
good. But
in chaos sorcery,
yeah,
it's not that.
it's not so black and white.
Black and white, yeah.
Yeah, the lines can be blurred. The focus is really on the sorcerer's intent.
Okay.
And
So it's not about these rigid categories.
Right.
It's about how you use the words, the energy you imbue them with.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And the book describes a range of techniques, from simple spoken incantations
Okay.
to elaborate written spells, often incorporating symbolic objects like candles, knots, herbs,
So you're combining the words. Yeah.
with the physical objects.
Yeah. There's often a material base.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into some specific examples.
Okay.
I'm always fascinated by the idea of curses.
Oh yeah.
So what kind of techniques does the book describe for weaving a curse?
Well, the book really stresses the importance of specificity and intent.
Right.
A curse isn't just some random outburst of anger.
Right.
It's a carefully crafted act of magic.
So it's like a laser-focused blast of negative energy aimed at a specific target.
Yeah,
Like,
precisely. The book describes techniques like writing the curse down, visualizing the harm that you want to inflict, and then reciting it with focused intent, often using rhythmic chanting or drumming to amplify that power.
That sounds pretty intense.
It can be, yeah.
It makes you wonder about the power of belief in this context, right?
Well, absolutely.
Like if the sorcerer truly believes in their power to curse, does that belief itself contribute to the outcome?
That's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of what makes chaos magic so compelling. right? It's about this interplay
Yeah.
of will, belief, intention, those internal forces that can shape external reality.
Okay. Speaking of shaping reality, what about spells?
Sure.
Are there any specific techniques for weaving spells?
So spells, the book describes a range of techniques, often using symbolic objects as a focal point for the spell. So, for example, knot magic.
Not magic. Oh.
Yeah, involves tying knots in a cord, each knot representing a specific aspect of the spell. While candle magic might involve inscribing symbols or names on a candle, and then visualizing the desired outcome as the candle burns.
So it's about using these physical objects to anchor the spell, to make it more tangible.
To give it a physical form.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Greetings, everyone. I need to ask for your understanding because making one video in English and another in Portuguese every day is very complicated, especially because the power is very unstable here where I am in Campos do Jordão. Given this situation, I am forced to make only one video a day, Monday, Wednesday and Saturday in English, while on Tuesdays, and Sundays I will make them in Portuguese. I am sorry that I cannot offer the same videos more consistently, but the simultaneous execution of other projects require this, and I cannot handle everything at the same time alone. If this bothers you, leave your comments below so that I can find another alternative that may be more interesting for everyone. After all, it seems that it is unfeasible, even for you viewers, to see a different video every day given the increasing drop in views. The more I insist on making one video a day. Well, the most important thing is for you to give your opinion in the comments, knowing that next Monday the videos in Portuguese will start a new cycle, leaving the sequence of videos of works related to the Necronomicon. Hugs.
All right, so we've covered curses and spells, but the book also mentions witch bottles.
Witch bottles, yeah. Those are fascinating.
What are those?
So a witch bottle is, it's essentially a container, traditionally a bottle, filled with symbolic objects.
Okay.
And often a written spell or curse designed to either protect or harm.
So it's like a magical time capsule almost.
I like that.
Filled with these potent ingredients and intention.
Exactly, yeah. A little vessel of magic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and the book describes a variety of witch bottle techniques.
Okay.
You know, from using sharp objects like nails and pins to represent, deflecting harm, to incorporating herbs and personal items to create a powerful magical link to the target.
So this sounds like a really versatile tool.
Very versatile, yeah. Capable of both defense and offense.
Yeah. It highlights the creative potential of word weaving. You know, the way that sorcerers can combine language with these symbolic objects to craft these potent magical tools.
It's like art and magic all in one.
Yeah.
We've
also touched on not magic a bit.
Yeah.
But the book seems to suggest that it's a whole system of sorcery in itself.
It is, yeah. It's incredibly ancient and powerful.
Okay.
It's found in cultures around the world.
Really?
Yeah, and the book describes how sorcerers use knots to bind and release energy, to symbolize intentions, and to create these tangible representations of spells and curses.
So it's like a physical manifestation of the spell.
It's like weaving the magic into the very fabric of the cord.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and the book describes a range of not magic techniques from simple healing spells to complex curses.
Oh, wow.
All based on this intricate interplay of knots, words, and intent.
I'm starting to see how not magic could be both
Yeah.
fascinating and incredibly
Indeed,
complex.
it's a whole secret language.
Yeah,
almost.
encoded in knots.
Yeah, exactly. It requires a lot of focus and precision to master each knot, its placement, the direction it's tied, all of that contributes to the overall power and meaning of the spell.
Okay, so knot magic is a fascinating rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That we can dive into another time.
Right, we could do a whole deep dive
on
knot magic.
But we can't forget about candle magic.
Candle magic, it's another classic word weaving technique.
So candle magic is incredibly versatile.
It is, yeah. It draws on the symbolism of fire and light to amplify intentions and manifest desires.
So it's like using the candle flame as a conduit for your magical will.
Exactly. Right. And the book describes a range of candle magic techniques. From simple spells for success and inspiration to more complex rituals for love and protection.
So it's about imbuing the candle with your intention and then releasing that energy out into the universe as it burns.
Precisely. Right. Yeah. And the book emphasizes that the color, the size, even the scent of the candle can all contribute to the overall power and symbolism of the spell.
So it's like creating this miniature ritual bonfire.
I like it.
Focused on a specific intention.
Yeah, a little beacon of magic.
Yeah.
And it highlights the importance of symbolism and ritual in word weaving. It's not just about the words themselves.
Okay.
It's about the context, the energy, the entire magical act.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about the context, the energy, the entire magical act.
Okay, so we've explored all these different techniques for word weaving. From the curses, the spells, the witch bottles, not magic, candle magic. But the book also takes a step back and kind of looks at the bigger picture, right, of chaos and sorcery.
Yeah.
What are some of the key takeaways from that section?
Well, I think the book really emphasizes that chaos sorcery is not about dogma or rigid rules. It's not a system where you have to follow like strict guidelines and rituals.
Right.
It's really about embracing the power of chaos, that raw creative force that flows through all things. It's about using your will and your imagination to shape your reality, to become the master of your own destiny.
Okay, so it's very much about empowerment, right?
Absolutely.
Taking control of your life, your reality.
Your reality.
But it's not all sunshine and roses, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a dark side to this stuff. There's a potential for harm, for abuse.
Absolutely. And the book is very clear about that. It makes it very clear that sorcery is a powerful tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or evil. It's up to the individual to decide how they wield that power, to be mindful of the potential consequences of their actions.
So it's not just about power.
No.
It's about responsibility.
It's about responsibility, wisdom, understanding the forces that you're working with.
Right. And that's kind of a recurring theme, I think, throughout this whole book, right?
It is, yeah.
This idea that chaos sorcery is not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not a quick fix.
No.
It's not for the seeking easy power. It's a path that demands a lot of self-awareness, discipline, a deep understanding of the forces you're working with.
Right. You have to know what you're getting into.
You do, yeah.
Okay. So we've talked a lot about the theory and the techniques, the nuts and bolts of chaos sorcery.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious about the practical side of things. What does a chaos sorcerer actually do? I mean, do they have rituals, ceremonies, specific practices they follow?
The book doesn't go into too much detail about daily practice, like, what a chaos sorcerer does every day.
Right.
But it does emphasize the importance of experimentation and personal exploration.
Okay.
Chaos sorcery is not a one-size-fits-all system.
Right.
It's about finding what works for you, adapting the techniques to your own unique needs and desires.
So it was like a personalized toolkit of magical techniques.
Yeah, I like that. A magical toolkit.
Yeah.
And you know, the book encourages sorcerers to draw from a variety of sources. You know, everything from ancient traditions to modern practices. You know, to create a system that resonates with them personally.
So it's like a magical buffet.
Yeah, a magical buffet. I like that. Yeah.
You can pick and choose the techniques that appeal to you and create your own unique magical feast.
Exactly, and it really highlights the eclectic nature of chaos sorcery. You know, it's not about blindly following tradition. It's about finding what works, what speaks to your own magical intuition.
Okay, so what would you say to someone who's intrigued by chaos sorcery, but also a little bit intimidated by it? You know, it's powerful stuff. It can be, a little scary.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, start with curiosity, read, research, explore, different perspectives on chaos magic, experiment with some of the basic techniques. You know, you talked about meditation and visualization. Those are great places to start. And most importantly, be mindful of your intentions. You know, magic is a powerful force, and it should be approached with respect and responsibility.
That's great advice. This deep dive has been a wild ride. We've explored the history, the philosophy, the techniques of chaos sorcery, and it's definitely left me with more questions than answers.
And that's the beauty of it, you know?
Yeah.
Chaos sorcery is not about finding all the answers. It's about embracing the mystery, the unknown. It's about constantly pushing the boundaries of your understanding, exploring those infinite possibilities of magic.
So the journey continues.
The journey continues.
Even after we turn off the microphones.
It always does. You know, the world of magic is vast and ever evolving, and the most important journey is the one that you take within yourself.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah, I agree.
So to all you listeners out there, embrace your curiosity, experiment with caution, and see what chaos magic can unlock within you. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Yeah, keep diving.